Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, everybody. All right, let's see what's come on here. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Good morning. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Krishna.
Anabolic beat.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Oh, Krishna. Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare, oh, sorry about that. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. Try again, Shamaguri. Try again to come on here. I had a double thing. Try one more time. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Bo. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna. Oh, Krishna, Hare Krishna. Oh. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Krishna. Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Oh Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hari Hari Krishna. Hey Krishna, man, your name is auspicious. It is happiness personified. It's a big party to join. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, all right, Krishna, thank you. This lovely name, transcendental to the modes of nature and liberation. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Damn, Emerald made this one.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Damn, Emerald made this one.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. God, this is so nice. Chanting the holy names. Lifted above the modes of nature and get relief. Isn't it nice? It's like a vacation. And it's free. It doesn't cost anything, man, to take a trip above the universe. Literally above the universe. I wonder if in Vaikuntha they think we're the alien invasion. We penetrate the coverings of the universe. Hey, some aliens are from here, from outside In the material universe, they're coming to invade Vaikuntha. Where are the aliens? New person. Well, Lord Chaitanya came to this planet and has given us the abilities, possibility. So a little bit of Lord Chaitanya here. We'll go back to the chanting probably. Day after day, this is chapter 23 of Madhya Lila, text 4. Day after day, the abode of Navadvip became filled with ecstasy because of the presence of Vishvambara, the Lord of Vaikuntha. Accompanied by his beloved Nityananda, the Lord engaged in pastimes of relishing his own names in association of his devotees. God, aren't we doing the same thing? We're relishing the names of Krishna. I think we're on the same page. Isn't that what Krishna consciousness is really about? Is tasting these names. And we got to have this prema arise, otherwise you can't really taste it. You know, it's very important to have this bhakti, this devotion arise. Isn't that the whole point? Because without it, it's like eating bread without butter, you know? So that's why we're chanting not just Krishna's name, Hari. See, that's Hari means prema, devotion. See? We need more discussion about devotion, you know, how important it is. And where to get it. You get it from those who got it. That's where, you know, in Jesus' time, people got the Holy Spirit by going to those who had the Holy Spirit, right? Otherwise, you wouldn't get it. You'd just be following the rules of religion. And this is what's happening in Vaishnavism. People are primarily following the rules of religion because of the lack of prema. Because, you know, we read those verses, abandoning, this is Chaitanya Charitamrita, the 4th chapter. When this prema arises, then you become qualified to worship the Vrindavan Krishna. You are attracted. Okay? Abandoning all the rules and rituals. See, because now that's this, you know, you're able to worship Krishna with this prema, with this bhakti. It's the most powerful process of devotional service. It's all leading to this. It's all leading to devotees understanding its import, to understanding the import of the devotees who worship like this. That association is really the only door to it. That's why, you know, these verses that Johann quotes all the time, it's not by renunciation, it's not by austerity, it's not by pious deeds, not by regulative devotional service. It's through those devotees who chant the holy names in great ecstatic love that one attains Krishna Vrindavan, because you attain devotion. See, this devotion, this bhakti, this is the essential ingredient. Okay? All the rules and regulations are leading to this, to appreciating this kind of association that's right here, right now. All that Prabhupada taught was leading to the association of devotees expressing this path. See, express. See, isn't a great word that Krishna comes up with? Express trains. You ever been on an express train? You get there faster. You want to get to Krishna fast? Well, you got to find the express bus. This is the express bus. It doesn't stop anywhere. It just goes straight to Goloka. See? So that's what expressing devotion is. It's the express train to Goloka. See, but it has to be expressed. It has to be, here's the express bus, because nobody knows where to take the express bus. You got to see the bus, man. You got to see the sign says express. You got to see the symptoms. Oh, there's the express bus. It's those devotees who chant the holy name in ecstasy. Can you imagine if the millions of devotees Prabhupada and his disciples caught in their net to have faith in Krishna understood what I'm just saying right now? What a revolution would be. You think this planet would be the same way? It would be completely transformed. And that's the rhinoceros I'm going for. Following the footsteps of my beloved master, Prabhupada, shot for the rhinoceros. I want all those devotees to know this secret so that they can all get this praying and put butter on their bread. So it's not just, I finished my rounds, Prabhu. One holy name in ecstasy is better than a zillion rounds, dry rounds. And that is the truth. I wanted to say that for a long time. Or maybe the Lord wanted to say this for a long time. It's hard to tell sometimes, Who's talking here? Is it Goharidas or is it the Lord? Is it him? I don't know, man. I ain't going to try and figure it out. I'm just going to let go and let God do what he wants. Just be a flute, Flute doesn't question, does it? It just plays, right? And you guys are all like getting like that, man. Just keep relishing the holy name, and that's it, man. It's simple. You're on the path of prema. The Lord performed kirtan every night. No one except the devotees could participate. Oh, yeah. Let's go ahead because we read this part here. Let's talk about that Brahmacari. We're going to go into him. This proves our point, actually. This just completely... See, I love the scriptures because they prove the point of the devotee's actual experience. See? And that's, we need to base our understanding. See, understanding. It's like, even in the world, they read you your rights. And they say, do you understand? Do you stand under this? Okay? This book is reading our rights. We're reading everybody's rights. It's right here in the book, man. Do you understand? I'm just going to go follow these other guys still. Okay, you don't understand yet. But those who do, we don't see, the world incarcerates you. They want you to get to understand so they can throw you in jail. You come here, if you can understand what we're talking about with one of these classes, do you understand? And if you say, yes, sir, or yes, ma'am, boom, we free you. Oh, good. Take you out of prison. Otherwise, you're going to go and listen to these cops who are going to come over and say, do you understand the bullshit we're telling you? Yeah. Okay, throw you in jail. But if you understand the essence of truth that's being preached here and expressed here, freed from the material universe. And that is the truth. You guys are proof. Pudding proof. There was one particular Brahmacari who lived in Navadvip. He was a store. See, this proves our point. See, I just said this, and here we go. We got the book. Go by the book. And I'm going to ask, do you understand your rights? I'm reading you your rights now. There was one particular Brahmacari who lived in Navadvip. And this goes for all the Vaidis out there. This is very important. Because if you understand this, and stand under this knowledge, this transcendental knowledge from experienced devotees, and it's by the book, you're freed from the material universe, because prema will enter your heart. Taste for the name, which is the qualification to go to the spiritual world. No taste, no freedom. There's one particular brahmachari who lived in Navadvip. He was austere, saintly, and faultless. He only drank milk, and he did not eat rice. Pretty austere, huh? That this Brahmana wanted to see the Lord's kirtan. Oh, great desire. See, what does he want to see? What is different between the Lord's kirtan and somebody else's kirtan over there that wasn't part of that ecstatic prema group? See, there's no juice in there. It's just all kind of superficial, Swami step stuff, kind of beginning stuff, just kind of a show. Wow, look at, they're so in sync. They just been practicing, and they're still practicing, going, I'm not putting down the Swami step. I did it myself in Mayapur. I was like, I went with everybody. We were doing like that. I thought, let me try this out. Let me see. We're going in sync like this to the deities. I did. I said, let me try this out. Let me see how it feels like to do the Swami step. And I felt like I was putting on a show. Anyway, because one time I got chastised for not doing the Swami step. I was just dancing in Vrindavan, for the deities. I was just so ecstatic. Oh, wow, the God's here, Prabhupada, Radha, oh, it's so great, just I wasn't thinking about anything. And a delegation of ladies came up to me afterwards and said, Prabhupada didn't teach us to dance like that. See, this spontaneous devotion. They were just, they didn't have any particular step. I'm not saying anything's better than the other, but it's interesting. Let's see. Okay, anyway. So, since this purport, since since the Brahmachari who considered that cooked food destroyed life and who took a vow to live only on uncooked food like milk and mango was unqualified to hear the glories of the Supreme Lord, he had no qualification to hear kirtan behind closed doors. See, it's not enough. A lot of people, they see, they say, oh, you got to follow this rule, that rule. You got to restrict this and restrict that. And then you can get Krishna's mercy. But there is something more. This is what we teach here. That's something more. Otherwise, the general understanding in Vaishnavism, well, you can't worship Krishna properly unless you're a vegetarian, unless you don't do this and you follow these rules, right? Isn't that the general idea? You can't worship Krishna unless you do that. So he's doing all these things, and he can't get into the intimate inside worship. He can't get in. There must be some other qualification. So are you getting to understand out there, any Vaidis that come to listen to this? Because if you understand this point, you'll be able to get into the kirtan. You'll get the same mentality of this brahmachari. He knew from experience. He said, look at this. God is actually here in his prema kirtan, and I can't get in even though I don't even eat vegetables or rice. I'm following all the rules. I don't have sex. I'm celibate, all these things, and I'm chanting, but I still can't get into the intimate chambers of the Lord's kirtan with his intimate devotees. There must be something more. Do you understand yet? Okay, we'll go on. It's understandable you don't understand. This is the deepest topic you're going to ever hear. You can go 40 years following the Acharya Devs out there, and you still won't understand until you hear your rights read by a transcendental cop and empowered by the Lord's representative to read you your rights so you can get out of prison of the material world. Religion is not good enough. So, text 19. Since the Lord performed kirtan behind closed doors, no one other than the devotees were allowed to enter. See, devotees mean devotion, prema. Real devotees, not devotees practicing to be devotees. They call that a bhas, a semblance, a shadow of a devotee. Devotee is prema is awakened in their heart. There you go. See, that's the pure definition. And this devotion is so high and so difficult to attain, you got to get it as a gift by going in the right way, like this Brahmacari is going to find out. See, Krishna gave him the intelligence, but people don't have this intelligence. That's why this book is written. And then when the devotees come along, they preach it. And then you got to show the deed that you stand under this knowledge. But when you hear it from a real empowered devotee, and then you say, "Now, yes, sir, I understand. This is the door, the entrance, how to get into that intimate kirtan, because I really want more of Krishna than some external rule, some ceremony. I've done enough of that. Been there, done that. Now I want a deeper relationship with Krishna. I want more intimacy. I want tears to pour out of my eyes. I want to feel this closeness with the Lord, what makes me laugh because he's very funny. I want that. I want union. Just like a man that meets a beautiful woman, I want union with her, or vice versa. But this is with God. You have that desire? Well, come here. You'll develop that. You'll see. It's wonderful to have this union. Okay? But you got to be beautiful first to attract the Lord. Just like a woman, they go to the beauty parlor, right? To attract a man. They got to look good, right? Isn't that the way you girls do it? You got to look good. You got to look beautiful. You got to be youthful. Well, you got to have that qualification. What is that? That's bhakti. That's devotion, man. You want to attract the Lord. He's only attracted by devotion, ecstasy, surrender, submissiveness, dedication to Radha and Krishna and those who are involved in that kind of intimate worship. Oh, that attracts you. Yeah. So now the Brahmacari who follows all the rules and regulations, people have to ask, are we at that point now in religion? I followed all these rules. I went to all these ceremonies and fire sacrifice. I've been initiated. I got my Brahmin thread. But I still don't have this intimacy that somehow my heart is yearning for that. I want to be like those devotees 550 years ago, or like those residents of Vrindavan. When will that day come? If your heart is really yearning for that. And then you hear this pastime, you wonder, wow, I'm at the same point in that Brahmacari. See, this is why most devotees don't come here, because they're not at that point. They still have faith in their brahmacharis, in the faith in their eating, vegetables. This guy didn't even eat vegetables. He lost faith. He couldn't, luckily the Lord was there. That's why these pastimes are so valuable. We reenact what happened 550 years ago. So the same possibility is here for you. Otherwise, you won't understand unless you hear it from a devotee Bhagavat who reenacts those pastimes, makes them alive again in this world. So you can, you hear these stories and you say, wow, that's not just a story. That's the situation. I'm also in that. I had all this faith in my regulative devotional service. I thought I would get spontaneous devotional service. And look, now he's reading my rights in the book that I don't have a right to this until I understand my rights and what I don't have a right to. I thought I had a right to this intimate kirtan, but look at this brahmachari. He couldn't even get in. See, there you go. Abandon your ignorance. There's one ignorant thing, conclusion that you can throw away. You know how many devotees spend their whole lives believing that they're going to get this spontaneous, intimate love by what they eat and what they don't eat and how many rules they follow. But this Brahmacari proved it didn't work that way. You understand out there in Vaidhi land, in religion, in Vaishnavism, and all your little groups? No, yeah? It's still understandable. Well, keep listening. And it'll become so clear that everyone, millions of devotees will understand and find the real path and go to Goloka. We have a big bus here, man. Every person that gets in, the bus grows. It's a miracle. The bus gets bigger. Goloka is like that. It expands. It's just in one little corner of the spiritual universe, you know? But it's bigger than everything. Just every person that comes in, it gets bigger. It's God's miracle. He's a miracle worker. So we got millions of devotees out there. You know, we want to put them in the bus so the bus can get real big and just take them on, just dump them over there in the Yamuna River for a good bath. Luckily, Krishna got Kalya out of there, and we're getting Kalya out of the material universe, poisoning all the Harikatha. Get rid of that stuff, man. Okay. So the Brahmacari says, Shrivas, even though I can't get in with all my rules and regulations into this intimate kirtan and see this prema kirtan, you get me in. Somehow or other, you're just you're not austere like me. You don't restrict all your things. You're just a simple Brahmin, and you even have a dog. You're not even following perfectly of being a Brahmin now. How come you're so free you can have a dog? Oh, there she is. I've been waiting for her to come. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj and devotees. Nice to see you.
Hare Krishna. Nice to see you there, Shama Sundari.
Thank you, Gurudev.
So then my eyes will be successful. Then I will always remain grateful to you. See, even to see a devotees in ecstasy worshiping Krishna, this Brahmacari said, I just want to see this. Because we don't see any. The doors are always locked and nobody else is chanting in ecstasy like that. And the Shastras do say, if you can just see this ecstasy, my life, my eyes will be perfect. That is the true darshan of a devotee worshiping the Lord in ecstatic, intimate love. It's like going, in the world, you go and sitting right in the bedroom of a person having that kind of communion, only it's pure, without fault. It's so pure without fault that if anybody sees it, they become literally, Krishna will never let go of you. Even if you criticize it, it's still, you saw too much. We got to take you out of this world now because people are not supposed to see this, right? It's Vrindavan. You're not supposed to see what's going on there. It's and the Lord says, I'm going to just show it to everybody and take everybody back that sees it. Okay. So I will be able to see Nimai Pandits dancing. Then my eyes will be successful. And I will always remain grateful to you. See, that's Guru, man. That's why, when you guys see this, when you see this prema exchange, and then you start to relish this, then the gratefulness comes. You notice how that works? How people are always grateful to their Guru. Why wouldn't you be? Where do you get this opportunity? You think you would get it on your own? That's why when people leave here, it's not really, it's like, wow, man, what took you down? You get this special thing, this special, you think, man, this is stuff that Prabhupada used to hide in Bhakti Siddhanta and Bhakti Vinod. And you're getting to see this, and then this is when you lose this treasure, is become ungrateful. People, they become ungrateful because Maya, their hearts get contaminated, become ungrateful. This is the greatest treasure in the universe, man. It's shared by the devotees. Okay? I can understand people that don't taste this, like they don't, they're not qualified, they come and see it, they don't understand, and then they go, bah, 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 bah. But, if you start to taste it, and then you go back, ooh, it's not very nice. Yeah. But anyway, when you learn, then you'll lament and then say, oh my God, what did I do? Anyway, that's good. Repentance is good. In this way, the Brahmana daily appealed to Srivas, who one day replied to him, many days, not just one day. The Lord Srivas saw this guy sincere. He's not puffed up. People, they won't come here mainly because they're still covered by pride. They're puffed up and they're proud of their austerities, proud of their knowledge, proud of their PhDs. See, this is all pride. But if they want this, you got to come into the mood of the Brahmacari. See? So part of our work here is to show the world of Vaishnavas even, that what's going on here is special. And you got to come in the door. You have to come in the way that the book teaches. You got to understand your rights and what you don't have a right to. You don't have a right to get prema just because you followed a bunch of rules that Prabhupada taught you. No, that's the preliminary. You got to go deeper. See, this is like getting Srivas was the guru. You notice he's the manifestation in the Panchatattva as the guru. So you need such a guru like that to teach you how to do it. So he did it by example. Just like here, we're teaching by example. You guys are coming in the door, and what are you getting? The intimate kirtan of Lord Chaitanya. You notice that? You're getting this prema, this taste for worship because you're coming in the right way. If you don't come in this way, you'll spend 40, 50 years in Vaishnavism, and you're still believing in ceremonies and external bhakti and varnashram dharma, and that is the greatest thing. No, it ain't the greatest thing. This is the greatest thing. This is where it's all going. Okay? The book is the proof. The devotee's experience is the proof. And their fruits are the proof, which are their disciples. Okay? Ironclad truth, So, in this way, the Brahmana daily appealed to Srivas, who one day replied to him, your body is free from sin, so you are certainly qualified to see the kirtan. Purport. Since according to Mahaprabhu's instruction, the milk-drinking brahmachari had no qualification to hear the Lord's chanting, despite possessing a sinless body. Isn't that amazing? When he begged Srivas to allow him to see the Lord's dancing, Srivas advised him to remain hidden within the house. Even though he was sinless, he couldn't see, but because he went to Srivas, that was the deal changer. See, that's the same thing. If a sinful person would have went to Srivas and said, can I really, sincerely, sinful person, would have went to Srivas and said, Srivas, can you please get me, see, it's that desire. You got to have that desire. I really want to know more about the Lord. I want to see this prema thing. This is a qualification of this desire. See, this is Raganuga Bhakti, this desire. Yeah, you can get me in because you're in, man. You're in with the Lord. See, the Lord was there. Well, the Lord is here too. You can see the symptoms that the Lord is here. You can see the devotee worshiping. Go ahead there, Lalita. What do you want to say?
Yeah, it's more a sign of submissiveness and humbleness to leave it to the representative of the Lord, to go to Srinivas instead of thinking I will do it myself. And that's
Yes.
what the Lord wants. He wants you to leave it to somebody who has been chosen by the Lord. And
Yeah.
you're more in your real position when you
Yeah.
do it like that.
Yeah. See, then, because the only reason that we can, the Ramananda Roy said this, the only price for this spontaneous devotion, this prema, is greed. See? So if you have the greed, then you'll go in the right way. Because even if you have the greed, what the greed will bring you, that's the mercy of the Lord, is that greed. And then it'll bring you to the devotee, just like here. See, he had the greed, even though he said, well, I did all these things, I still can't get in. Then what do I need to do? I was greedy, he wanted to see. The Lord, you see, inside. He was taught by God. The Lord gave him that understanding. Oh, let me go to Srivas because he's in that prema kirtan with the Lord. He's in an intimate relationship with the Lord. I want that. So he went in the right way. And this is why the devotees come here. They're like that, like Johann. He was greedy for this. And the Lord gave him the right idea. Let me, let me go and listen to Gohari. See, then they get in so easily, huh? Because of the greed. This is the only thing stopping the devotees is lack of that kind of greed. Because those who do have it will show up here. And then they get in. See, and this is why the book is so perfect. This is why Prabhupada came to me then. Because the books are all out. We have the instruction manuals here. So all you need is the instructor. The instructor is not an inexperienced devotee. He came to me. I was worshiping the Lord in intimacy and ecstasy for years. And, that hollows you out, as you all know. The more ecstatic, everyday, happy chanting and ecstasy, man, you get hollowed out. And that there's a certain point the Lord said, I can use a flute like you now. See? And again, they give you the right understanding. See, what am I doing? The Lord is showing me these things and I show others. We show and express and teach, and this is our work here. So that people can stand under this transcendental knowledge. So you can get in the door. Go in the door. Oh, really? This is it? Boy, how come I didn't see this before? Well, it wasn't time. You got to have that greed. You got to really want Krishna. It makes sense, Shamagori, these things. It's very simple, isn't it? Hey, Lord Chaitanya came here. They're from Vrindavan, these beings. Him and his devotees. They're from Vrindavan, most of them. They came here to teach us how to enter Vrindavan. And aren't we doing the same thing? We're teaching people. We're reenacting these pastimes. Same thing, the guru stands in for Srivas. Who's got the greed out there? Yeah, and then, because then when you come, then you so easily get into you start to feel this increased taste for the Lord, this intimacy. So it works, right? Okay. That's why, and then you go up there and do your classes, and you cry and start to laugh and share deep realizations and everything, and the people start to ask, well, where'd you get this? Well, I went in the door. This is, you teach, you just went in the door. Just come. We have sadhu sangha here. We have a whole band of devotees who are ecstatic, especially when they're attentive. I know you have always been a good person. Throughout your life, you have observed celibacy and eaten only fruits. Your body is free from sin, so you are certainly qualified to see the kirtan. After speaking this way, he took the Brahmacari inside and hid him in one corner. Thereafter, the Lord of the 14 worlds began to dance in the midst of his most fortunate associates. See, now the Lord's unmanifest, right? Sort of. He becomes reanimated, remanifest in the worship of these intimate devotees. When you see devotees, enjoying this festival of spiritual love, that's because the Lord is communing with them. See? So this is just like it makes the Lord manifest again in this world from the internal point of view. Just like that. They're worshiping Krishna in ecstasy, right? We worship Krishna in ecstasy. What does that mean? The Lord is with us, right? Otherwise, there would be no bhakti. We got Radha and Krishna. See, we're chanting Radha and Krishna's name, but we got Radha and Krishna internally manifest. It's not just the name only. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. It's external and internal. See? That's perfection. See? That's enlightenment. That's self-realization. You realize the true self, Radha and Krishna, because they're living inside you. You're engaging in pure devotional service now. There's no motive. Ask anybody here that's worshiping the Lord in intimacy and ecstasy. That's all they're doing. It's just spontaneous. It's just natural. It's just one heart to the supreme heart, right? Pure, intimate. There's no reason for it other than it's just natural. We're built like that. We're spiritual. The Lord is spiritual. We're meant to be together. See, that's pure devotional service. Prahlad said that. Prahlad said these things. He said when Nishingadev appeared and he's talking and praying to him, he said, Lord, I'm your devotee. It's natural for me to love you. It's natural for you to love me. It's natural. See, that's enlightenment. That's self-realization. That's spontaneous devotion. It's just natural. It naturally arises when devotees chant the holy names. Hey, this becomes, as whatever is in the way for us is released, more and more it's like that. More natural. You open your mouth and Krishna comes, Radha comes and dances in your temple. You're now a real pujari. Not an external one, not a ceremonial one, let me just put up these symbols. See, these are symbols still, symbols of truth. It's like you ever go to a Catholic communion, and they put a wafer on your tongue and give you some grape juice, and they say, you see, now you got communion with the Lord. That's the way Vaidhi Bhakti is, more or less. It's just symbolic of what? Well, actually, you're the pujari, my friends, and that water is offered for. You're everything in that. So the Lord uses you're that paraphernalia, because now the tears come from your eyes, and you're the conch holding those tears, and they pour out of your eyes at the feet of the Lord. See, the feet of the Lord, these books, this name, that's the feet of the Lord. He walked all over this planet and left these pastimes. That's his feet, left his name. If he didn't come here and walk around this planet, nobody would know his name. See? So the feet and the name, the feet and the pastimes are the same. Lord Brahma said that, by the way, in Srimad Bhagavatam. I'm not just speculating. We're percolating here, the truth, like a good cup of coffee. You ever have a good cup? Is my machine still working over there, River? Is it still making good coffee like it did? Yeah, good. Yeah. Thereafter, the Lord of the 14 worlds began to dance in the midst of the most fortunate associates. See, most fortunate. That's why I'm telling you, man, we are so fortunate. I feel so blessed and so fortunate to be around ecstatic devotees here. You know how fortunate we are? When I read these verses, it shows me, reminds me, my God. That's why I say when people leave here, what the hell happened to you? They are all jubilantly sang together, Krishna, Ram, Mukunda, Murari, Vanamali. Nityananda and Gadadhar held each other as they twirled around. The lion-like Advaita ran here and there in ecstasy. See, this is it, man. Ecstatic worship. That kind of thing that's happening here, this ecstasy just moves you. You're moved. See, inspired, touched, moved, inspired. Inspired. Why? Because prema, devotion, is awakening the heart, makes you want to chant, want to hear the glories of the Lord. So that kind of thing was going on then. It's going on again now. You got to see the symptoms of that. When prema sankirtan is going on, these are the symptoms. A lot of tears, a lot of ecstasy, a lot of laughter. It's like a big party. It's transcendental, though. It's like a transcendental rave. And you rave, you notice there's a raving. What is it? Krishna, how come all these words really mean stuff now? It's like everything here, it really, when you apply it to him, is now you see the real meaning. Raves are very secret usually. You got to have a special invitation and you go there, you take all these ecstasy drugs and everybody's like raving in ecstasy. Well, this is the perfection of that. There you get incarcerated. Police come, they take you to jail, or you get a big hangover, you get addicted and they put some crap in the drug and then you go into an insane asylum, all kinds of things. It's not perfect. This is the perfect rave. Okay? You're raving like a maniac, like a mad woman and a mad man, but in ecstasy and happiness. This is what we're looking for, this kind of rave, because this is perfect. There's no fault in this. This busts all our karma. Cycle of birth and death is finished for those that participate in the rave, in Sadhu Sangha rave. Yeah. Here we're disclosing the location to everybody. Hey man, everybody ready to come to this transcendental rave and have your birth and death, cycle busted forever? We break that cycle. Just come to this rave and rave for Krishna. Become a raving, transcendental mad woman and madman. Intoxicated by the holy name. That's our drug of choice. Transcendental drug is the Lord himself. All drugs come from him, right? Why not get him? It all comes from him anyway. That's the pure substance. Like Asley's white lightning back then. It was very pure. This is even more pure. I remember this one lady, she was a Christian, and she was really she was intoxicated on the name of Jesus. Really. And she had dreams, and she had this dream with Jesus. Jesus came, and she was addicted at first to drugs. And then Jesus came to her and said, hey man, you're going to see, I'm going to make you more intoxicated than these other drugs. All that stuff comes, is from me, from God. She had a dream like this. And then she became a really ecstatic. She just got drunk on the name of Christ, and glorifying the Lord. It's all about that. It's like that, that guy that Johann likes a lot. He was intoxicated by his faith in Christ. His dedication. What do you think the Lord is? He's only looking for us to be dedicated to truth. What is that truth? His devotees. Those devotees are the personifications of truth in this world. If you can find a real devotee who is the only person or persons, if you can find two or three, even like here, we got a lot of people here that are becoming very important to my Lord, our Lord, the Lord of the universe is. Not just one, all of them. Because he doesn't care about a whole universe. He doesn't care about a whole universe except if there's a devotee in it, and Prahlad is a truth of that. He came and helped the universe that was taken over by Hiranyakashipu only because he was being teased by his father and put in troubles. Oh, well, my devotee. Otherwise he wouldn't even just say, oh, just take it over. I don't care about these. I have so many. It's only the devotee. He teased the devotee. And, Prahlad didn't really. He just called him just to be happy. He didn't say, oh, Lord, come and, and get my father out of here. He didn't say any of that. He was just worshiping the Lord happily in ecstasy like us. That's why the Lord will do everything just because we're just happily worshiping him. I don't like to ask the Lord to do stuff. I don't know. I just not my nature. I just want to be with him. That's all, touch him, be touched by him. That's it. I know everything will be perfect because of that. That's just the way I am. Everybody can be you can pray for whatever you want, I've already done the healing thing. I heal broken bones, all kinds of stuff like that. I'm not interested. I just want to touch the Lord and be touched. If you have faith like that, then it's fine. You can ask for who you want. Even Jesus, he started to say, people come and they say, oh, Lord, can you heal me of this? And he says, do you have faith that it can be done this way? That you have faith in that. It's by your faith. See? So, who can describe Lord Vishwambara's transformations of ecstatic love, like shedding of tears, shivering, hair standing on end, and loud roaring? You notice those symptoms are here too. What does that mean? He himself was the Lord, and he brought the Lord and showed this is how devotees worship in perfection. And this Brahmacari said, I just want to see that. I want to see the Lord in a devotional mood, worshiping his own self, worshiping God, because he was as a devotee. They thought he was just a great devotee at that time, many. Let me see a person worshiping the Lord in that intimacy and ecstasy. Then my eyes will be perfect. Can you imagine if persons understood this in Vaishnavism? If they understood the real standard, the real symptoms, the real book, then they would know where to go when it appears here, because it's here. The perfection they're looking for is here. Or anywhere else, if you can find it. But I found it very hard. I didn't really see it. Everybody's saying, oh, yeah, it's over there. And I go there, I always just see dry eyes. I didn't see any, like expression of, you see, they were doing this in closed doors at first. So I didn't see externally any of this going on. Maybe it was going on indoors, who knows? But it doesn't, you got to see it, right? Well, that's going on here. It's so funny. It's under the authority of Prabhupada, too. Isn't that amazing? You would think. Everybody said, well, Prabhupada didn't teach this. Well, he taught me this. He said, hey, man, dude, that's my approval. You do more of that. I don't know what he gave the instruction 50 years ago, but this is a different time, place, and circumstance. Get with the real program, man. Prabhupada's progressive, obviously. Why did he come and say, oh, yeah, it's my approval. Yeah, express this, get people stoned on God. Yeah, this is it, man. It's time. And see people way back with Prabhupada's people. Well, he didn't show up. So you're living in tradition. You're living in the past. Even Prabhupada at that time, he broke so many traditions that were done before. Why? Necessary. You got to break the rules. You know that we see in movies people break the rules for the right reasons. It's important. Otherwise, the rules hold you like in a box. You know, even Maya, she wants to put you more in a box. In the world, they train people by boxing them. I just looked at the education system. They want to put you in a box. You can't get out. See, you got to be broken out. That's why you need association. You come here, you'll be saved on all levels, even physically. You'll see how they're trying to put people in the box. This is Maya. Krishna will give you protection from how he's putting people in boxes through his Maya because they believe in his Maya. I don't believe in Maya. This is Maya. Why do I want to believe in shadows, in darkness? This is light, man. Truth is so juicy. It's so amazing. So Lord Vishvambara, the crest jewel of the omniscient persons, knew that the Brahmana was hiding there. Lord Vishvambara repeatedly stopped dancing and said, "Why am I not feeling ecstasy today? I cannot understand. It seems like someone is inside the house. Tell me the truth." In fear, Srivas replied, "Oh Lord, no atheists have come inside." See, on this definition of an atheist, there are a lot of persons there in Navadvip who are worshiping Krishna, actually, student community, but on the deeper level of atheism is you're against the true nature of God. You're against ecstatic worship. Did you know that? That's a bit of it's a form of atheism. If you worship the Lord according to rules and regulations, and you don't like his ecstatic nature, you're still an atheist, still a little demoniac. You know, devotees don't know this, but because they don't know the confidential truth of the scriptures. But I'm teaching this, right? And I know a lot of gurus and sannyasis say, "Look at what Gohar is saying. This isn't what Prabhupada taught. This isn't what the Vedas teach." What does that say to me? It says to me, you don't understand the Vedas. You don't understand the confidential truth. That's why the acharyas didn't reveal it to you. But we reveal it to people coming here. Okay? And I prove my point with the Vedas. I just said, well, let's pull out 10th canto, the highest Shastra. Let's take Jarasandha. He was worshiping God, just like you, Vaidis out there. He was worshiping Vishnu, like you, Vaidis. You're worshiping Krishna. No. By your deeds, by your mood, by your behavior, you're worshiping Vishnu. According to rules and regulations, he's in charge of the mode of goodness. So he was worshiping Vishnu. Okay? And when Krishna from Vrindavan comes, see the real nature of Krishna, he came from Vrindavan, see, more ecstatic, more blissful in his real nature, not, mode of goodness. This is still mundane material. And Jarasandha followed all the rules and regulations of Vaishnavism strictly. See, Vishnu, Vaishnava, worshiper of Vishnu. Strictly, he was a pious king, never lied, honest. Charitable to Brahmins, everything. But he hated Krishna. See, he hated the spiritual potency. This is the problem. This is the obstacle. And if you do that, you're like an atheist. Just like if anybody, there's so many people worshiping Krishna, but they're not really. If you're worshiping Krishna, it's like this. This is acceptable worship to Krishna, is in truth, conclusive, and ecstasy, bliss, prema. That's worshiping Krishna. Otherwise, He's just superimposing things. It's not real worship. It's not spontaneous love. Okay? So Jarasandha was against ecstatic Krishna. He said, "Oh, this Krishna, he's not following the rules properly. He kills he killed Kamsa, his relative." See, external idea. Kamsa was a demon, man. He was an obstacle, a thorn in the side of the progressive devotees. He was in charge like that. Okay? And Krishna got rid of him. Just like here, we don't kill bodies. In Kali Yuga, it's not about killing bodies of these demons. A lot of them out there. It's to kill their mentality. See, you destroy the ignorance. People believe the ignorance is truth, and that is wrong. That is a lie. They believe the lie is true, even in religion. You got to understand these subtle points. Anyway, those who really desire to know will end up here, because that's what we teach, how to overcome these illusions. So I cannot understand. It seems like someone is inside the house. Tell me the truth. In fear, Srivas replied, "O Lord, no atheists have come inside." See? So why was the Brahmacari not considered an atheist? Desire. He wanted to see the Lord. The Lord is thinking, oh, you're justified just by your faith. Isn't that what St. Paul taught? He was trying to teach these belligerent Pharisee types who, oh, it's the rules and regulations. You know, it's all in their face. Stop it. It's a donkey demon. You know. Paul said, no, you're justified just by your desire for Jesus, your faith in Christ. You're justified by that and only that, your desire for that. You're wanting closeness. See, you're wanting to see this intimacy. You're justified just by being favorable to that. The Lord says, oh, that's the only qualification, is that you're favorable to me. Okay? This is the deeper teaching we're teaching here. This is Chaitanya Leela we're teaching here. The door to Vrindavan is favorability to the ecstatic worship of the Lord, which we're demonstrating here and expressing here. Brahmacari was judged not by his, if his rules and regulations got him to the point of faith in coming through the door, yeah, Srivas, you've got the mercy of the Lord to see this Prema Sankirtan, to experience this, to worship like that. Therefore, I'm going through you so I can get that also. Okay? If you didn't do any of those rules and you came to Srivas and said, listen, I have faith in this. I want to see this Prema. I want to worship like this. You would also get in. This is the power. This is what even Prabodhananda, we'll read that poem of his. All of what I'm teaching here and sharing here is all in there. It's all in that poem. Not Radharasa Sudhanidhi, but the nectar moon of Lord Chaitanya. Okay? Whether you followed rules or regulations or had a spiritual master or not, if you have faith in Lord Chaitanya, then you will attain all that you wish. Okay? But what is that? Faith in Lord Chaitanya means you have to. Lord Chaitanya is these conceptions, my friends. Not misconceptions, right? People think, well, here am I preaching about Lord Chaitanya and Radha and Krishna, but they're all misconceptions because the person isn't an experienced devotee. He's not empowered. He's not a real flute, transcendental flute. He's speculating. So many do that. That's why people stay Vaidhi their whole lives and then die in ceremonies, things. People say, a lot of people dying now, Prabhupada is, he served Prabhupada so nicely and everything, all life but still, if you're still didn't make this connection, This is the idea, is progressive, not just to stay in rituals. Yeah, I stayed with Prabhupada all my life. Yeah, and did you develop prema? Oh, well, that's for many lifetimes. That's another thing. Oh, well, okay, well, didn't quite get it. But that's nice. You stayed with Prabhupada. A lot of people stay with Jesus, but they don't know the value of the Holy Spirit. A lot of them, oh, that was only for Paul. How many Vaishnavas think like that? Oh, that was for only Lord Chaitanya. Oh, there's no prema now. I had people come here. This one Mahavirya, he came here. He came here. He was getting so much. He was writing beautiful songs and everything because inspiration here. The Lord, because he came here, he got the darshan. He saw this. He didn't see. I had to point it out. The manifestation of Lord Chaitanya in the river. Still, he didn't get it. And he goes, and what happens? Now his preaching is what? Oh, there's actually no prema in this world. Boy, that's called ungratefulness. I just spell it out now. There's no time to waste. Maybe he'll figure it out now. If he's, who are you? Oh, well, then stay in that. Stay in there's no prema in this world idea, which is bullshit. There's so much ecstatic devotion here every day. And more on tap here, because this grows. We're growing a garden of bhakti here. You notice that? Just grows here. What garden are you growing there? There's no prem in this world. Imagine there's this group out there. They have this sign. We're poetry of Raghunuga Bhakti Sangha, and I think Shamadguri is a member of that, and they have no interest here. Bogus, man. You guys are bogus, and that's the truth. I just spell it out there. Bogus. You're all this prema and writing poems and all this about intimate stuff, and don't even appreciate the real intimacy here. You're just in your heads, and then you preach there's no real prema. Baloney, man. This is what we're dealing with, a bunch of blockheads in this world. This is where when you get strong, you'll preach to these people out there. Set them straight. They need to. They need to see some boldness, man. Not wimpy. We're going to get you out of this. Oh, Prabhu, I don't want to commit any offenses. Well, you just did by not standing for something, standing for real bhakti in the world when it's here. We're going to whip you into shape here. This is a great
But he
parade.
doesn't want to answer. He doesn't want to answer to me, and he blocked Balaram, so...
Yeah, that's it. They hide. Don't worry, we're going to get him, snuff him out. He was a good devotee. I liked it. He was very nice. Working, everything was nice. I don't know, this Brahman thing, I think it's just hard for these older people to let go of the old stuff, man. They're really they're like pit bulls in the wrong way. You gotta be a pit bull in the right way, progressive way. Anyway, it's all as it is, what to do. Yeah. So there is only one Brahmacari, a pious Brahmin, who leads a sinless life and only drinks milk. He had a strong desire to see you dancing. You have rightly surmised, O Lord, he is hiding in the house. On hearing this, Lord Vishvambara angrily said, so first, the Lord wants to teach here. You see, notice that? He doesn't comment on the real thing because the person had a desire to see his dance. Oh, this is very nice. Oh, yeah, that's great. That's the real qualification. No, but he comments on the other thing. He looks for the fault because he wants to teach the sannyasis who think like this, and the brahmacharis who think like this, and the vaidis who think like this. He wants to teach them something. On hearing this, Vishvambara angrily said, quickly take him out of the house. I could just imagine being there and the Lord saying this. Quickly, take him out of the house. He's not qualified. Out.
Poison.
What qualification does he have to see my dancing? Can one attain devotion to me by drinking milk? Oh, interesting. See? Can one attain devotion to me by following rules and regulations? See, drinking milk, rule, regulation. Can one do that, attain me by austerities? By renunciation? No. See, Lord teaching here, isn't he? How many people are actually going against this teaching? See, that's why Prabhupada said this postgraduate, because he taught, oh yeah, by rules, regulations, you're going to understand these things, even, and devotion will develop and all that. But he didn't give the details. But the details are in here. That's why we focus on details. See, Mahaprabhu considered, this is purport by Bhakti Siddhanta. Let's see what he has to say. Mahaprabhu considered that a person, a non-devotee, and a person can. Mahaprabhu considered that a person, a non-devotee, and expressed his anger by ordering that he should leave the house, when there is no guarantee that by only drinking uncooked milk one attains devotion to the Supreme Lord. See? There's no guarantee. See, people think it's guaranteed. I'm going to follow with Prabhupada's program, and then I'm going to develop devotion to Krishna. There's no guarantee by following the rules and regulations. I mean, this is more strict. He's drinking milk, uncooked, which they actually say is really good for you, organic milk. Then how can a non-devotee become eligible to see the dancing of the devotee? Let's see what Bhakti Siddhanta says. Because he was bereft of unalloyed devotional service, see, that is the only qualification, is unalloyed devotional service. But how do you get that? See, that's the thing. He developed a propensity for executing materialistic austerities. See, and this is what Vaishnavism basically is. They develop a propensity to develop austerities, renunciation, sadhanas, big sadhanas, 1 lakh a day, 2 lakh a day chanting. It's like an austerity to do that. See, because you're devoid of pure devotional service. See? Now, the only reason, Prabhupada wasn't devoid of pure devotion, but yet he taught austerities and building temples and, ceremonies and all that. Well, it's time, place, and circumstance. Lord Chaitanya also taught. But the essence is in this book. Even Bhakti Siddhanta taught austerities and sannyas and renunciation, all that. But yet the essence is still in this book. This is his purport. Prabhupada also does this. And we point this out because we're teaching postgraduate understanding of Vaishnavism. This is when you graduate from that and realize there's another rung you got to grab onto, then you can learn here. Unless you think you know all about bhakti and you think by your renunciation and your austerities is the way, and you're not ready to hear the book properly explained to you, the real book, then what can be done? Okay? All austerities aimed at non-violence and imagined to be favorable to religious life according to ordinary consideration can never be steps to devotional service to the Lord. Interesting. Inclinations toward the service of the Supreme Lord and lording it over the material world are not equivalent. So still, Bhakti Siddhanta is still just hinting. It's not got to it yet. So the Lord raised his two arms and extended his index fingers. Two arms. Okay, let's do that. Raised his two, extended his index fingers. While saying, no one can attain me simply by drinking milk. Can you imagine being there? And the Lord goes like this. No one can attain me simply by drinking milk. No one can attain me simply by renunciation. No one can attain me simply by austerities. No one, this is kind of fun. No one can attain me. It's nice to act out, man. Otherwise, you'll act out some crazy stuff. Might as well do this transcendental stuff. No one can attain me by mantra yoga, even. Attain me means attain intimacy with Krishna, and that means Vrindavan consciousness, which is true love, true illumination. See, two eyes, not one eye, two eyes. Not just Lucifer, the whole thing. See, the whole, the complete whole, the shadow and the truth. You understand? Shadow, oh, the shadow, that's over there. We don't want that. We want actually the other eye, all devotion. See, no one like that. The Lord Vishvambara repeatedly stopped dancing. And why am I? Oh, I read. So, purport. Attempts to achieve saintliness or supremacy in the world under the shelter of nonviolence. Oh, no, I read that. Okay. So, know for certain that even if a Chandala surrenders to me, he is mine and I am his. Okay? Now, this is what people see again. Surrender to me. People think, okay, yeah, but he was surrendered to Krishna. He was doing austerity. Well, what more is needed if that's not enough? What's more is needed? He didn't have the proper conception. That was the problem. You have to have the proper understanding. That's why it says you need a bona fide spiritual master empowered by the book Bhagavat. See, this is the book Bhagavat. This book Bhagavat. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to spank you, Krishna. This is the book Bhagavat. I guess our preaching is a bit of a spanking, isn't it? Book Bhagavat is Krishna, the real conception, by the action of the book Bhagavat and the devotee Bhagavat, which just makes it clear what is the real conception. Not a speculation, not a checklist that doesn't agree with the book. See, you got to have the real conception. And when the Lord delivers you, he comes as the guru. It's his flute, man. He said, that's my flute. See, and listen to my song. Otherwise, you got to listen to the transcendental understanding of Krishna consciousness. See, coming from his transcendental situated flute, empowered. And then that's surrender. Otherwise, you're surrendering to these other conceptions, right? Taught by persons who haven't attained Krishna. If you don't have pure love of God, you haven't attained Krishna, and you're a guru, and you're deciding, oh, give me mercy. What kind of mercy can you give? The only real mercy in this world is pure devotional love of God, right? Only ecstatic devotion is real mercy. Otherwise, you don't know what mercy is. Taste for the Lord's pastimes, man, where tears are coming and ecstasy is arising. That's mercy. And your guru saying and letting your disciples go like that, that's hypocrisy. That's hypocritical. You're not real guru. Hey, you gotta You got to understand what surrender to Krishna is. The Lord sends you a real guru, and otherwise it's hypocrisy. And that's what people come here. They don't understand what Shiksha Guru is same as your initiating guru in that way. They give you the right understanding. And a lot of people, they don't understand, they leave. Oh, yeah, well, no, it's Prabhupada. This guy doesn't, that's hypocrisy. Shiksha and Diksha Guru are one. If Diksha Guru is actually a pure devotee, is actually like empowered by Krishna's transcendental potency, of course. And the Shiksha Guru is the same platform. They're both used by transcendental Krishna. We got Prabhupada initiating us, transcendental Krishna, and then your Shiksha Guru is mundane. What kind of bullshit is that? Material, hasn't attained the Lord like your guru did. Come on, man. Real line is a real line of electricity. Prabhupada was ecstatic. Bhakti Siddhanta was an ecstatic devotee. Bhakti Vinod was. And the current Acharya must be an ecstatic devotee too, like the whole line. Otherwise, the electricity is stopped. Right? Simple. Just 1 and 1 equals 2. All you have to do is hear it explained. The profound truth explained just logically. And this is why the Krishna consciousness is not so progressive now, because here is the real line. See, the real teaching is here. The progressive understanding. So when devotees come here and accept these conceptions, what happens? Krishna is very pleased. Now you know how to surrender to me, because I sent you a real guru, and you're surrendering to those conceptions that I'm teaching through him, and you're getting in. See? Okay, you justified yourself. Come right into the kirtan. The Srivas was like this. Brahmacari came to Srivas. You are a real intimate associate of Lord Chaitanya. I know that. My austerities only brought me to you. You get me in. Okay? When you do that, when the door is here, Srivas is the door is here also again. Those who understand this point know what real surrender to Krishna is. Otherwise, there's hypocrisy in your surrender. You don't know the real conceptions of Krishna consciousness, which are only taught by his real devotees. Okay? If you got the real conception, then you got real transcendental knowledge. By their word, every day these Vaishnavas are singing that song. Oh, Sri Guru Charana. See, Charana, the Guru is that mercy, is Charitamrita. Through that Guru, ignorance is destroyed by their word. See, their word is the proper idea, proper conception. You need that kind of guru. Every day they're singing it, and usually to gurus who are not really of that stature. Therefore, they don't get the result yet. If eventually they realize, I see, I need to find a real devotee where ecstatic prema emanates. That has to be your reality. Not just in the book and you don't understand, because from your gurus now, ecstatic prema is not emanating. That's ignorance still. By their word, your ignorance is not destroyed. See, that's ignorance. See, you don't have such a liberator in your life. See, we're teaching real Krishna consciousness here. So people can go in the door like this Brahmacari and get the desired result, which is what? Ecstatic worship, like the intimate devotees have, like many here have also. Even if a sannyasi does not surrender to me, he is not mine. This is, if even a sannyasi does not surrender to me, he is not mine. This is the truth I am telling you. See, people think just by being a sannyas that you're qualified to take disciples and all that. You're just qualified to be guru and to bring people to Krishna. No. See, if even this purport by Bhaktisiddhanta, listen up, everybody. Even if a sannyasi situated in the topmost ashram becomes adverse to the service of the Supreme Lord, then it is a fact that such a person should not be accepted as dear to the Supreme Lord. What does that mean, become adverse to the service? This is the real service of the Supreme Lord, my friends. Ecstatic worship is considered real, the transcendental loving service of the Lord, not practicing to do ceremonies. That's not really service yet. Real service is from the heart, from a real devotee. Spontaneous loving service of the Lord. And if you're adverse to that, because that's what's going on here, is the real transcendental loving service of the Lord. If anybody's adverse to this kind of worship, you're not dear to the Lord. I don't care how big your title is, a PhD. If you're adverse to these kind of devotees, like Lalita Ganga and others chanting in ecstasy, this is the real service of the Lord. This is the highest pleasure of the Lord, is ecstatic, loving mellows awakening in your heart. That is pleases God because he's in there enjoying them. And if you don't enjoy what he enjoys, then you're not a realized devotee yet. See, if you come here and you say, wow, that's really wonderful how you're serving. See, this is, then you don't have to be anything special. You just come here and see, wow, I would like to worship like that. That's the real service of the Lord. See, and then, oh, come on in. See, and then very quickly you get it. Yeah, and by the way, Maha Krishna Das, I don't want any of this. If anybody has these things about sex and all that stuff, no more. And if otherwise, I'll just block you. I don't want this in my preaching and putting pictures up of my students and with penises and stuff. This is so. I'm sorry. If you have these things in your mind, keep them at home. I don't care, but don't bring them here. This is not our preaching here, not at all. It's fine, if you have your problems and or your fetishes and all these things, keep them to yourself. But don't put them up here publicly. I'll block you. And so you come here. If you're coming here, come here for this, not this mixing tantric things and these kind of things. I don't care if they're your dreams or you keep those kind of dreams to yourself. And mixing the students and then they start to get into it. This is not our preaching at all. It has nothing to do with that. Keep it in your own home, in your privately. That's fine. I welcome everybody, but don't start and then people start using those. Oh, let's see what Gohari Das is doing. Look what these guys, they're into this tantric thing. I'm not into this. Maybe you're into this, but that's why I say we're not doing that here publicly. So that's just how it is. You're welcome to come, but keep that stuff to yourself. Come here. What are you coming here for? You want this? This has nothing to do with that. That, it's your human thing and all of that. We're not mixing that in here. This is called pure love of God. It's in from the heart up, not down there. That's for procreation, and people have all kinds of weird stuff going on with that stuff, and we're not mixing here. Just keep that down there. Go have a husband or a wife or whatever you need, and keep it in there and be a normal human being. But this is worship of the Lord, pure-hearted worship from the heart up. Keep it clean here like that. And there's nothing. You can be human. You can be yourself. You can have your boyfriend or girlfriend. No, I'm not against anybody. You can, but just keep that in your own home. Keep that to yourselves. Don't involve my students in that kind of stuff. So I have to put my foot down in certain things sometimes, Especially in the comments. I don't want to see a lot of these kind of comments up here. This kind of sex stuff and kinky things and all that. No. I think it's pretty liberal here. I mean, just kind of. All right. So tell me, what kind of austerities did Gajendra do? The monkeys and the cowherds perform to attain me. Even the demons perform austerities. But what is the result? Unless they take shelter of me, they cannot be delivered. And so that's just how it is. That's why when Jesus came here, those 11 persons became saints because they surrendered to the Lord in the right way. The Pharisees didn't become saints, did they? They were so-called surrendered to God. They were worshiping God. They were worshiping the scripts. They were worshiping Moses. But a living representative of the Lord came and they didn't worship. They didn't appreciate. They didn't listen. They didn't hear or get purified. What happened? They didn't become saints. But those 11 did. That's how you surrender to the Lord. The Lord sends the real bona fide spiritual master is a bona fide, man. They're real. The Lord is using them to deliver you. When you get that, then you get delivered. And that's our example here. You get a bona fide guru, you become a bona fide disciple. And people get delivered when you preach this. When you show this, that you're an example, and Prema awakens, and then people say, well, what did you do to get it? Then you preach the real way. Yeah, there's my guru's here. I got it this way. I follow the real path. He's teaching the real path. These other persons aren't. You see, you teach the highest truth, distinguished from illusion. That's not the real path. Hey, this is the path. Hey, it's by the book, and you point it out in the book. Hey? Then people start to see you. Then you start to do the miracles. You open blind eyes. People are blinded by ignorance. They're just waiting to be taught right by an experienced devotee who's walking the real way. I tell you, you'll be so excited when you get up and you stand for the truth. You start understanding the truth, and you realize people need to hear the truth. Otherwise, they stay in illusion, and it's waiting for you to become a real devotee, understanding these points. And then you just get up, you do a class, and it's so wondrous, so fun to tell the truth, man. People need to hear it because they're hearing bullshit, speculations from gurus who haven't realized Krishna is telling you right here all these things. They don't understand it because they got to hear it from you. And you got to be a real devotee first, a real follower. You have to have a real guru in this world. See? And then the result comes, and you say, yeah, the result comes. I went in this door. Now you're the shepherd. See, that's what Jesus meant. You go in the door. I am the door. The real spiritual master is the door. You go in the door, you become the shepherd of the sheep. The sheep are all looking for the door. They go into these guys, Jaipataka, Radhanath. Are you getting prema going in those doors? And I bet they'll all say they didn't. Oh, well, that's many lives. No. Well, if you get the real guru and the real preaching and the right preaching, that'll be this lifetime. You'll be like the devotees 550 years. They went in the door like Srivas, and they got into intimacy with Lord Chaitanya and Radha and Krishna. Okay? Example. You got to be an example of a real disciple going in the real door, like the book says, by the action of the book Bhagavat and the devotee Bhagavat, absorbed in the mellows of devotion. Those develops have been transferred into my heart. The book says that, and you're the living book now. See? That's what people need to hear from a living book. Yes, I'm a recipient of that mercy. That was the preaching 550 years ago. And after that, Rasika Nandana wrote a book. He says, his guru was on the planet. He got devotion to Krishna from his guru. And he said, you want to attain devotion to Krishna without troubles? Come to my guru. He wrote a book about that. His guru was alive. He was a living disciple, and his guru was a living guru. And the door was open. See? Because it was here. Deliverance was here. This is the idea of bona fide spiritual master. This is when deliverance is here. Okay? The guru is here, who is used by the Transcendental Lord. But the message also is here. The confidential message. Just come in the door and you'll get this prema very easily without a lot of troubles. The only thing with Prabhupada, he was preparing the ground. See? Preparing the ground. The message, he was here, the empowered devotee, but the message was just like when Moses was empowered in a certain way. And to give us, to prepare the ground, and then that Jesus comes and gives, not only is the empowered representative there, but the message of deliverance is there. This is what we are for the Vaishnavas, beginning with them or anybody. You come and you take shelter of these teachings and this preaching and this ecstatic worship. Boom, you're out of here. We've already proved it, and we'll continue to. Those who know, they'll know. Those who are taught by God in the heart, they will know. The Lord will show them. The Lord will inspire them. They'll feel it, that this is true. This is real. And boom, you'll get it like that. Just like I got it. I read the book of John. I knew it was true. I knew in my heart. And boom, 3 weeks I was like in the kingdom. It didn't come down. This is the empowered message of the Lord. The good news is here now, starting with the Vaishnavas. The Lord always works like that. He comes to where he prepared the ground, and some are ready. And then those who come, they make others who become ready too. They make them, help them become ready for this.
Gurudev, may I say something? Please?
Yeah, please do.
Because it's 3:30 here afternoon, and I have to get myself ready now to go live. Okay?
Oh, yes.
See you tomorrow.
See you. Okay.
See you.
Yeah. Matter of fact, yeah. Okay, let me put this in. All right. Let's leave the floor open now. It was always open, actually. The music kind of gets me into stuff. Okay, what do we got here? Anybody want to share anything? Go for it.
Enjoying your class, Guru Maharaj.
All
I
right.
was enjoying.
All right, let's put up some comments here.
Can you be quiet, Maharaj? I do have a question, but I feel a bit silly saying it.
All right, go ahead.
So like, you're the door. When we come to you, we can go through the door. But how does it work? Because we are not purified. We're not fully purified. How can we go through the door if we're not fully purified? Could you explain that?
Yeah. It's simple. You just go through the door as you are.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. Just come as you are. Yeah, when the door is always the guru. It's not like I'm trying to be a megalomaniac or something like this. It just is what it is. The bottom line is the Lord's assigned roles. I got the order from Prabhupada. I'm just doing the work. Krishna said to my second disciple, because of your guru, I'm giving you my. See, so that goes again and again. It's like that. So I'm just accepting my work here, my role. And the role devotees, you go in the door, then you understand what the real principles are, and you help others understand that too. You actually become the door also. You become the shepherd of the sheep. I mean, while your guru is here, why not bring them to sadhu sangha? And if they can't take this kind of preaching, you can help them too. They just, preach to them until they can. And then everything is growing. See, you'll see people start to awaken. They start to feel bliss, and because, if they listen to you, they're actually listening to me because you've accepted these things. This is a line. This is a line of thinking, a line of understanding. See? So this is how the line stays intact. You're understanding what I'm preaching, right? So the line gets separated, like it said, at first there was one opinion with the Acharya, but inside people were like, they had their own, they was just underneath, and then when the Acharya disappeared, then the other opinion started to be preached. See? And that separated the line. And those who had the real mercy, they stay ecstatic. See, and that's how the Lord proves the line. This is why you see even now people get a different opinion. If you leave here, it's usually a different opinion. Your heart is not with us anymore. It's a different opinion. They all dry up. Every one of them. You'll see. Every single one has dried up. Even my ex-wife. Dried up. They become dry. And just into some intellect. They're on some other, they believe something else is bhakti. Okay? Some other thing, knowledge or renunciation. They get into, there's a lot of Vaishnavas teaching like that, sannyasis and austerities and all this stuff. Okay? So, but they dry up. They end up being, and then they think, oh, when will I get real bhakti? They lose faith in real bhakti. Is here, man. This is it. So that's what the Lord teaches in that way. So, and then you can even intelligence, so you look at that and say, well, because they'll go. I mean, I told you when somebody leaves here, and I told you that I don't want to mention names, but when they leave here, just look at them. Look, do they look as juicy as they were before? They don't, because they have a different opinion. See, and I had the one who left here. I say I won't mention names, don't need to. One who left here wrote me privately. And it was like, hey, Gohari, I'm sorry, you're not doing the right thing. See, that's why they left. I have a better opinion, a right opinion. And so the point proves, you look at their preaching and then they start getting austerities, and all of a sudden they lose the real glow. They get into being like a big teacher and all that. So anyway, that's just, again and again, I've seen this. So that proves the thing. This is that we become the living example of that chapter 12 of Adi Lila. Even while I'm here, now I have to wait to disappear. While I'm here, people are leaving. When the ones that are destined to by destiny, and the same result. Those who are fed by the real mercy, they stay ecstatic. See, that's the mercy. See, is the ecstasy, ecstatic, deep realizations, like this. And the others, they have a different opinion. They dry up, scatter, and become more, just kind of dry. Their classes are dry. Everything is dry.
Thank you, Maharaj. I understand. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I have an idea of who you're talking about, but I won't say either.
Yeah, it's not important. It's just observe.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, observe these things. Though, see, some people may not come very much, but their heart is with us. See? So, like Pani and Noodles, they can't come. They just have householders and everything. But their heart is with us, and they tell me. See, that's what Krishna's showing me. He said, yeah, their heart is with us, and they just like our work. They appreciate it like this, and Krishna is with them. Doesn't, the Lord, that's how powerful the Lord that we have here. That manifestation is so transcendental that you don't have to be a big sadhana and come all the time, even if your heart is with us.
Yeah.
But if you turn again, your heart turns against, well, what is the Lord? You're like, then he turns against, in a sense, by turning away. See?
Yeah.
That's what I'm noticing practically. This is, in our preaching, this is why we got a lot of experiences here.
Thank you, Maharaj. Perfect.
And some that have turned away, they may come, maybe they come back. It depends on destiny. Maybe they understand, get to. I know one that has left, and again, I won't say, has done this before and came back. So maybe the next time coming back might be the real clincher. Sometimes you got to go back and forth for a while. Because some of you have come here because of them, So Krishna never forgets. I don't forget either. If I seem like I turn my attitude, I just try to help them, to come back, A lot of them done great service. I'll always remember that. Krishna remembers that. Yeah.
I hope they come back before they leave their body, because when they leave their body and they were too proud, had the chance to come back and then say no. Well,
whatever it is, sometimes they'll just see you take the coverings with you. See, what you bind on earth, you bind in heaven or spirit. So when you pass from this body, if you haven't dissolved the pride, false ego, and competition with the real God, to get through that, it's kind of a Mayavadi thing. You want to be equal with Guru, still. See, Prabhupada can't defend himself. He's got all these disciples. When they leave here sometimes, then they say, oh, well, it's because I'm with Prabhupada. Well, if you can understand Prabhupada's real attitude about that here. See, because you can speculate on, he would, and you see, that's what they get a bit hiding from this is the final purification. And so if you don't get that false ID, you're not understanding how Guru is one. This was the challenge with Prabhupada's godbrothers. See, Prabhupada had that transcendental potency. It's very rare. And many godbrothers couldn't accept, no, we're just as good or better because you're just been rotting away in household life and we're sannyas for 40 years before you, like this kind of mood. That's pride. The Lord, Prabhupada was empowered by Krishna and Guru. See, so they got the opportunity to do it. Some started to make, some progress through that. But I don't think they all made it through. Yeah, proof of that was was when Prabhupada disappeared, some of the godbrothers were giving eulogies about Prabhupada. And it was like from a very prideful point of view. And the disciples who were in the audience picked it up and made comments. They said, they don't see Prabhupada. They don't see his glories. Because they were talking like they were on the same level and all this, but they really weren't. Prabhupada was really specially empowered. Very different. And people have, that's the thing. People, if you get the real mercy, you can you see that, and then you're protected, and then you stay in the bliss. You'll stay, protected and all that. But if you start to see that this is the same as just like devotee still in the modes, even goodness, and you start to equate it as the same, or the mode of goodness is better, because actually the mode of goodness competes with this, and they end up always want to be top dog, wanting to be better than this spiritual potency, because that's what the mode of goodness. If you're under that, you start to think mode of goodness is better than pure goodness. I've seen that here. I see my ex, she laughed and said, oh, this austerity is much better, than what you're doing. You're not very austere, Gaurahari. But look at me, I can do Nirjal and all. See, they start to compete with this. I see that. I've seen that. And others who they go back to the Vaidhi thing. This, what I'm doing, the more Vaidhi, you're not.
Oops, you're frozen, Guru Maharaj. Shall we chant, Yamuna?
Yeah, why not? Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Oh, I want to put a song on.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Rama
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 Hare
Hare Hare Krishna Hare
Rama
Krishna
Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Krishna
Hare Rama
Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Krishna
Rama
Hare
Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Krishna
Rama
Krishna Hare
Hare
Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Rama
Rama
Hare Hare
Rama
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare Krishna
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 Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Rama
Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama
Rama Rama
Rama
Hare
Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Hare
Krishna
Rama Hare Rama
Krishna Hare
Oh Lord Rama Rama Hare
Rama
Hare
Rama Hare
Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare Hare Rama Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama Hare
Rama
Rama
Rama Hare Hare Hare
Hare
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare
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 Rama Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama Hare
Rama Rama Hare Hare
Rama
Hare
Rama
Krishna
Hare
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 Krishna
Hare Krishna Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Krishna
Hare Rama Hare Rama Rama Rama
Rama
Hare
Rama Hare
Hare
Hare Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Krishna
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 Krishna Hare
Krishna
Hare
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 Rama
Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama
Hare
Rama Rama Hare Hare
Rama
Hare
Rama
Krishna
Hare
Hare
Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Oh, Guru Maharaj
Krishna
is
Krishna
back.
Hare Oh, it's back. Yay! Maharaj is back.
Yeah, no, that's good. I just, yeah. So anyway, these are just some of the things that happen. It's if the devotees, we're here to help people understand what is Shuddha Bhakti, and it's glorious, and that's really it. And if people can identify this, now you know what is transcendental. You get, and then you stay with that. You worship that. This other thing came to me also. If you come to the point, say I disappear tomorrow, you never know. Who becomes guru? See, this is the thing. Who becomes guru? That the best thing to do is you continue, like Prabhupada said, continue the work. Because if I don't say, okay, you actually go and do this thing, then just continue the mission. This is what Prabhupada taught. Just continue the mission. This is what he said his guru said. And he had the same idea, really, until they speculated on it. Just continue the mission, and it'll all become clear. You become clear, and then you'll even have a dream. Like, I didn't do this until I had to actually, it started spontaneous. People start coming, and first that happened. People start coming, they start getting bhakti, and then Prabhupada came in the lucid dream, and Krishna comes in a lifetime vision, and then confirms it. Then it works. Then it's perfect. Otherwise, there's a little danger. There could be the danger of getting under the false ego that can come in there, and take you over, because it's poison. To be guru, and because you're like an acharya when you start taking disciples like this, and it could, if you're not really ready, then the false ego can come in there and take you down. But if you got bhakti, you'll recover. So don't worry about that. Okay, go ahead. What?
Yeah, like when Jesus disappeared, he stayed the guru. He was always the guru. He stayed the door. He's still the door of the Christians. Those disciples didn't become gurus and didn't say, now we take over. They just preached for that he was the door.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but still, the only reason is they needed more maturity. See, because they're not conclusive enough. They're not conclusive enough. But they could still awaken the Holy Spirit. Like if you're Madhyamadikar and you got bhakti, you can awaken people, and it will happen. But if the more conclusive they are, you have to take the responsibility, because that's when I found it worked. Because I tried the Ritvik thing. Oh yeah, let's just do what Prabhupada. It never worked, right? And because I was already ordered to do this. So that's the thing. And that's why the Christians are not they need some more shiksha really to really get how it works. That's why it kind of flops around, and there's still all this sectarianism in there. Here, the preaching is not sectarian. It's just based by the conclusive understanding of the revealed scriptures in alignment with that. See, along the lines. See, and so that's because that's what's here. That's what's available. And so, yeah. And so the worship that's the whole point, is to get it real clear. What is a real guru? But many are becoming real gurus here because the bhakti does it, and it's strong in a lot of devotees here. And the stronger it gets, and you can see devotees still flip-flopping. And as it gets really steady and you just stay in there, you become a natural guru for others. The Lord gives you the right understanding and you help them really well. Yeah. So it's the steadiness, and you can see sometimes, like different devotees go through the back and forth for a while, and gradually, by and by, you just stay more steady in the bhakti, just steady, no more flip-flopping, just a process. Krishna, yes, here, the bliss. I do wonder about the white hair and the nosy wosy. Yeah. Well, be careful. Don't get too outrageous. Shri Maha. Yeah. If you want to stay around, just don't get into that stuff. I mean, I kind of like your mood, but this stuff, it's too it could be misunderstood, and it causes misunderstanding. Okay, what did we got here? Want to read that, somebody?
From Eric. Oh, I mean, that got me to this in the Sadhu Sangha. My Diksha was my Kira. Is that right? Kira
Kriya.
Kundalini. Kriya
Kriya.
Kundalini. Kriya Kundalini meditation, Omkara. And so I am a mantra, but the Lord decided to give me bhakti through Srila Gaura Haridas. I am physically leaving this facility in a wake. Yes, David. Oh, I won't say that.
Good.
He first got into Kriya Yoga, and then he came to
and this what we're preaching here doesn't depend on diksha. You don't have to have even a diksha in anything. You just come here, you just automatically, just by being here in this association, you get an honorary entrance. So a lot of people, they've been following rules and regulations in Vaishnavism. They can't come here. They're not, they're not, they don't come in because they don't want to. So anybody who comes, I don't care, diksha, no diksha, doesn't matter. If you like what we're doing and you come regularly, that's it. That's the qualification. But it's our awareness to find what is truth. Well, our awareness. See, the awareness is given by the Lord. What did Krishna say? I'm the intelligent of the intelligence. See, so if he gives you the awareness, that's why, Jesus said something pretty interesting. He said, I'm here to teach those who are taught by God. See? Where is God? The Lord's in the heart. So I'm the same thing here. If the Lord gives you the intelligence, the super soul, you'll understand something here. You'll understand, oh yeah, let me go here. Let me listen here. But if he doesn't give you that, you're not ready for it, you're not qualified. Grim chemist. Grim chemist. I will go gain more power, old wizard. I will defeat you. What's that about? Oh. Okay, is this can you hear me? Yeah. Okay, yeah. So Maha Krishna Das says, read that, somebody.
If you want me not to stick around, that's fine. That goes to show you care about what people think. I don't mean to be disrespectful, but something isn't smelling right from Gora Harris Boingoloins. What's that? I don't understand the word. I don't smell right too, but I have doubts. Met many guys who talk the talk like him, but in person, who knows? What's this?
Okay.
You haven't been around. You haven't been around long enough to know Guru Maharaj and what he can do for us. You're just judging him on coming to a few classes. You're just judging him on coming to a few classes, my Krishna, and you don't really understand the depth of what Guru Maharaj is talking about. You know, this is my experience, and it's been quite difficult at times. But the truth is truth. Absolute truth is truth, and it seems like that you don't want absolute truth. You just want to play around. And yes, Guru Maharaj is right. You have a really nice mood. I can see that myself. But you really don't understand the depth of what Maharaj is talking about. You know, it's not about what people think. It's about what people in another authority of Krishna consciousness, like the Vaidhi gurus, like they don't understand what Maharaj is saying, and he's only following what Prabhupada wrote in his books, and they make things up about Maharaj, and we rather not right now. And Maharaj rather not do that right now, and I'm sure it would change at some point as well, actually. So there you go.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to say anyway about it.
Why suddenly this change? Because Guru Maharaj said that he didn't agree with what you are doing and writing, etc. You can't take that?
Yeah. Yeah, you know, can I respond to that too? I'll respond to it. Yeah, it's okay. Caring what people think. Actually, what I care about is what Krishna thinks. See, Krishna thinks is what I'm ascertaining in the book. I believe thinking. So that's what I care about. And Krishna is not thinking that you know, he's teaching something. He's not teaching that. And so in a sense, you're bringing these things up and saying they're like dreams and everything, and it's not coming on the page that I'm teaching here. I'm teaching what Krishna's thinking. Can you hear me, anybody?
Yeah, we
Looks
hear
like
you. Perfect. We hear you. We hear you
yeah.
very good.
Oh, you hear me? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So and Krishna's conception is not this tantric thing. And so I don't want this to be preached because, you know, it's not the thing, you know. So I care what Krishna thinks, and people misunderstand. They might think, oh, Gohari's teaching this, and you put pictures up with penises, and then you put my pictures of my students up there. This ain't right, man. It's not helpful for the preaching, you know. So I said, I like you seem like a nice person, and I just, you know, so if you're thinking though, you know, like, well, you've got to accept this, you know, the way it is, and I got to preach like this. Well, I'm sorry, it's not the kind of preaching we're doing, that I'm doing, that I have to kind of protect this sangha, and this is what the Lord is showing me.
Yeah. Yeah, my internet connection's not so strong here. That's why I'm out here. Are you there? Can you hear me,
We
everybody,
still
or
hear
what?
you very good.
Let me
We
know.
still hear you.
Okay.
It's perfect. Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah. So that's the idea. So why can't you just keep that to yourself, those kind of things? Why do you have to put it up here and make pictures and put it all over Facebook, and then people see that? And that's not our preaching. I'm sorry. You're coming here, it's like you're representing what we're doing, and you're using our students and all that, and we're not representing tantra here. I'm not representing that, and my students they're not representing that either. So it's just a part of learning how to come on to the same page. It's not that you're causing bad. I think it's an alignment thing. This is part of coming into alignment, coming to understand what we're preaching here. So okay, let's see. Prabhu, Karuna, and other gopis. Yes, I'm sorry causing bad vibes, but this is who I am. I have doubts until they are proven wrong. But I used to be a preacher in some other group, ecstasy on faces and so forth. I looked into their lives personally. They are the opposite of the ecstatic faces they pretend to be. I'm sorry, I don't mean to insult anyone. Yeah. Well, good. I think maybe now you're becoming a little more real. And, why don't you come on live? Why don't you come on so we can see you sometime? That might help a lot too. Come actually, put your being up here so we can deal with a person and not just some cyber ideas and stuff. So he's doing great work. What is this? Talking about good things. He goes wrong. Let's see where he's going, sharing with us. Keep on going, Prabhu. One who awakens devotion. Okay, well, good. Yeah. Okay. Latika is priceless. New comments. Kruna is a flip-floppy, messed up fish. Yeah, whether. Okay, so anyway, have a nice day.